It was supposed to be a warm, nostalgic live session, a quiet night on Weverse when Jimin, smiling softly under dim lights, decided to talk with fans to celebrate the beginning of October. His voice was calm, gentle, and familiar. But no one, not even the most devoted fans, expected that a few heartfelt words about Jungkook would soon ignite an online storm. "I remember one night during training," Jimin said softly, his eyes glimmering as if he could still see that memory. Jungkook was exhausted, but he still smiled at me and said, "Young, we'll get through this together." I'll never forget that. For many ARMYs, it was one of the sweetest things Jimin had said in months, a rare glimpse into BTS's life away from the cameras during their quiet military service. Fans flooded the live comments with hearts and crying emojis, calling it the brotherhood moment we've all missed. But only hours later, something changed. A wave of cold, critical posts began circulating on X, formerly Twitter. Some anonymous accounts claimed that Jimin only mentions Jungkook to stay relevant. Others accused him of attention-seeking or using their friendship as PR. What began as a heartwarming memory quickly turned into a trending topic, one filled with division, misunderstanding, and emotional chaos. The next morning, hashtags like #LeaveJiminAlone and #ProtectJimin began trending worldwide. Fans defended him fiercely, saying that he had done nothing wrong. He was simply recalling a real moment of friendship. Yet, the negative wave didn't stop. Screenshots and edited clips of the live began spreading with misleading captions. One viral post cropped out the part where Jimin smiled affectionately, leaving only a serious frame, twisting the tone into something cold and calculating. Another claimed he was hinting at Jungkook's new project, as if trying to ride on Jungkook's name. This wasn't the first time BTS members had faced public distortion of their words, but it was one of the most emotionally charged. Jimin's fans, known for their deep loyalty, felt both protective and heartbroken. How can a simple memory about Jungkook turn into hate? One ARMY wrote, "They're brothers, not competitors." Another replied, "The tension revealed something much deeper, how fragile the fandom atmosphere had become during BTS's military era." With limited public appearances, every word from the members carried enormous emotional weight. And for Jimin, who had just returned to public life after a long hiatus, the scrutiny felt magnified. To understand why this small mention caused such a storm, one must go back to the beginning of Jimin and Jungkook's journey. Since debuting in 2013, Jimin has always been one of Jungkook's closest hyungs. He helped the younger member navigate the pressures of fame, stage anxiety, and the weight of growing up in front of millions. Jungkook, in turn, often spoke of Jimin as one of the people he trusted most, someone who scolded him with care and laughed with him without judgment. Their friendship became legendary within the fandom, the Jungkook bond, as fans lovingly call it. From shared laughter during concerts to emotional confessions in interviews, the two had always embodied the warmth and sincerity BTS is known for. That's why Jimin's story during his October live hit fans so deeply. It wasn't just about a memory, it was about survival, love, and brotherhood under the harsh conditions of military life. And that's also why the backlash hurt. Because to Jimin, Jungkook wasn't a headline. He was family. In the days that followed, ARMYs organized global online campaigns to defend Jimin's name. They posted positive clips of the live, translated his words correctly, and reminded others that the true meaning of his message was pure affection. Many also reflected on how difficult it must be for idols to speak freely without fear of misinterpretation. He can't even talk about his best friend without being attacked, one international fan wrote. It's heartbreaking. Jimin has always spoken with honesty. That's what makes him so real. The fan community began reframing the narrative, emphasizing the beauty of the moment rather than the controversy. Videos titled "The Real Meaning Behind Jimin's Words About Jungkook" started trending on TikTok, gaining millions of views in hours. Some even shared old BTS footage, like Jungkook running to comfort Jimin during Spring Day rehearsals to remind the world of their unbreakable connection. As fan debates raged across the internet, Korean and international media began picking up the story. What had started as an intimate live stream turned into a trending headline across entertainment portals. Some tabloids used sensational titles. Did Jimin go too far talking about Jungkook? While others tried to analyze the deeper emotional context of his statement, major outlets like the Korea Herald and Okpop published balanced reports emphasizing that Jimin's mention of Jungkook was part of a heartfelt recollection. Yet, the damage of online misinterpretation was already done. On platforms like TikTok, thousands of short clips removed context and focused solely on reactions. Meanwhile, fans noticed a familiar pattern: how any BTS-related topic, no matter how innocent, could easily be weaponized for clicks and engagement. Media thrives on misunderstanding. One fan commented under a viral post, "They turn brotherhood into rivalry because that's what sells." In a matter of days, what was supposed to be a small Weverse moment became a full-blown media spectacle, the perfect storm of fandom obsession, sensational journalism, and emotional fatigue. Through all the noise, one thing was clear: HYB remained silent. There was no official statement, no clarification, and no attempt to control the narrative. At first, fans hoped the company would release a quick response or post defending Jimin. But as days passed, silence filled the air. A silence that felt louder than words. For some fans, this was a strategic move, a way to avoid feeding the drama. For others, it felt like abandonment. He's their artist. They should protect him. One fan wrote on X, "If it were any other situation, they'd speak. Why not now?" The silence also raised speculation. Was HYB waiting for the storm to pass? Or was there an internal decision not to draw more attention to online hate? Either way, fans took matters into their own hands. They organized #WeStandWithJimin Twitter Spaces, shared positive edits, and flooded social media with moments of kindness, turning pain into unity, once again proving the resilience of ARMY. Beyond the noise of trending tags and controversy, something deeper was happening. Jimin's words weren't just a casual mention of Jungkook. They were a reflection of a chapter in their lives few outsiders truly understood. Military service, for idols, isn't just about discipline or duty. It's about rediscovering humanity away from fame. When Jimin said, "Jungkook smiled at me even when we were exhausted," he wasn't performing for the camera. He was expressing raw gratitude. In that sentence lived 1,000 unspoken emotions: exhaustion, brotherhood, and quiet comfort in shared struggle. Fans who listened carefully noticed Jimin's voice trembled slightly when recalling that night. It wasn't nostalgia for fame. It was remembrance of a moment that defined their strength as men, not idols. It's this very sincerity that makes Jimin so beloved, and also so vulnerable. He speaks with his heart, and in an era where everything is dissected, a pure heart often becomes a target. Days later, as the controversy began to cool, ARMY noticed something curious. On October 12th, Jungkook updated his Weverse account. It wasn't a statement or a clarification, just a simple message: "Hyung always takes care of me. Don't worry about us." The post contained no hashtags, no elaboration, but it was enough. Within minutes, the comment section flooded with emotional replies. "Thank you, Jungkook. We knew you'd stand by him. This is the real brotherhood we love." That single post shifted the tone across fandom spaces. The tension that had filled the air for days began to dissolve. What no official press release could achieve, Jungkook's quiet reassurance did in seconds. IT reminded everyone that behind the noise and speculation, BTS's bond remains unshakable, forged through 10 years of music, laughter, tears, and shared dreams.